The second half of July is the best time to prune roses. What is needed? A pair of secateurs, a pair of lopper, and especially if you have many roses and a helper, a measuring stick. Roses will grow to different heights, and when you completed your pruning, basically they should all be the same height cut back. This is a measuring stick. This marking is 10 centimeter that is pushed into the ground. The next is 50 centimeters, 70 and 90 to the top. A secateur or a rose shear is needed, hopefully sharp and oiled, so it works easily in your hand. To cut out heavy stems, a lopper like this is absolutely ideal and needed. Pruning is mainly carried out to be able to look into the plant. One needs to determine now which are the older stems of the previous year and the younger stems that have grown this very last season. To make it even clearer, one can cut out the twigs and be able to look even better into the bush itself. To identify the older wood to the newer wood is usually the easiest by looking at the prickles or thorns. On old stems they are sort of greyish compared to more brownish on the new stems. The color of the stem also is usually not as fresh green as the others, like on the stem here where the stem is discolored and not very healthy. There are still some smaller stems here in the center. They will have no chance of surviving once the rose grows because they will not get light, and they need to be cut out as well. Now we're almost done. There are still a few too many little branches and twiglets that can be removed, and we might go to the second stage. Now we look at the plant again and check out if there is enough space for the new flower development from each one of the remaining stems. It should be about 20 centimeter or the length of a shear. This particular rose is very broad spaced, so we can allow more stems than with other narrow growing roses. There's enough space between each one. Possibly this one could still be removed. And as it is, we're looking also now at the height of old stem. We are now virtually at the 70 centimeter level, and in this plant that could be enough. If we want really long stems from this rose, then we can reduce the whole plant to the 50 centimeter level. And that's what we're going to do now on this plant. This is now severe pruning. A last look. Yes, enough stems, about this height. They all look good, and we can expect really top blooms in October. You will have noted that I just cut without looking at the position of the shear. And it really doesn't matter where you cut and how do you cut. Now here's an example of a stem from last season. It was cut here. The upper eye pointed to the inside and grew, and then it produced nice stems on its own growing to the outside. You also note that above the eye there's about 1 centimeter, and it simply dries out, so there is no need when you cut to be too concerned to the position of the eye or the actual cut.